In the last video, we wrote about the three anaerobic wound infections recognized by McLennan. They were normal contamination of the wound, anaerobic cellulitis, and anaerobic myositis or gas gangrene. So let's have a detailed talk on three of them. First two are quite short, and we have a detailed process. We'll discuss about detailed process for anaerobic myositis or gas gangrene. So let's start. Okay, so I'll start from here. First is normal contamination. In case of normal contamination, there is no invasion of the tissues or underlying tissues. There is just a contamination, and it takes a bit longer than usual. Just contamination. No involvement of underlying tissues. Okay, and might take a bit long. Okay, than usual. The second was anaerobic cellulitis. Aerobic In anaerobic cellulitis, only the facial planes are involved, but there is no involvement of the muscles. Only the facial planes are involved, and there is minimum toxic production. Okay, so in this only facial planes are involved, even that also with minimum toxin production. And the infecting clostrodium are also not so capable of producing large amount of toxins, with minimum production of toxins. I missed it. Okay, now the most important and the most serious one, that is anaerobic myositis or gas gangrene. So the third, anaerobic myositis or gas gangrene. Okay, so it is the most serious, with involvement of healthy muscles and abundant production of the toxins. So most serious, healthy muscle involvement. There is healthy muscles involvement. The healthy muscles are involved, and there is abundant toxin productions. Okay, so now let's discuss in detail how it is caused. And okay, so one of the two, for the multiplication, to multiply the clostrodium perfringens require favorable conditions, and one among them is low oxygen tension. So okay, requires favorable conditions for multiplication, and one of them is that is low oxygen tension. And this low oxygen tension is achieved by various factors: implanted bullets or fragments of cells, as we discussed earlier, and sometimes crossing of the tissues and rupture of the arteries, tearing of the arteries causes anoxia, anoxia to the muscles. And lecithinase, we discussed about lecithinase in the toxins. The lecithinase damages the cell membrane. This damage to the cell membrane causes extravasation, which increases the pressure on the capillaries and further blocks the blood supply. And the extravasated hemoglobin and myohemoglobin are not able to carry oxygen. Okay, so we'll write this and then we'll discuss after that, otherwise it may be confusing. So we told that low oxygen tension mainly achieved by crossing of tissues plus tearing of arteries. Okay, so what is this causing? This is causing anoxia to the muscles. This leads to anoxia to muscles. Okay, and the other one is low lecithinase, not this, we can write lecithinase. They are damaging the cell wall. They damage the cell wall, and which causing extravasation. And this extravasation leads to increased capillary pressure, okay, increased capillary pressure, which in turn blocks blood supply. Okay, and this blockage of the blood supply is further causing anoxia of the muscles, which is providing low oxygen tension. So, and other factors are, other thing we discussed, that the extravasated hemoglobin and myohemoglobin are not able to carry oxygen. So we'll write it. Extravasated myohemoglobin plus hemoglobin keys to carry O2. The keys to carry oxygen. Okay, and what this does is, this is causing into anaerobic respiration. If there is no air supply, oxygen supply, then the cells cannot undergo aerobic respiration, so they undergo anaerobic respiration. They proceed anaerobic respiration, and anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid, and lactic acid decreases the pH. So we'll discuss what the decrease in pH can cause. So anaerobic respiration, no oxygen, then aerobic respiration halts and anaerobic respiration starts. This anaerobic respiration will cause downfall of pH plus other chemical changes, and these changes contribute to breakdown of proteins and carbohydrates. Okay, are you getting? Proteins and carbohydrates. And this breakdown and of proteins and carbohydrates helps in proliferation. Produce conditions for proliferation. Proliferation of the bacteria. Okay, is this much clear? So this is the process, how it is going on inside. So after this we'll discuss about other features of anaerobic myositis. First, let's understand this nicely. So, what I told is anaerobic myositis or gas gangrene is the most serious condition, and there is involvement of healthy muscles with abundant toxins, abundant